interface, I embrace debate. I don't make mistakes, I just make my case. Drop spike when I'm done. One more can I say? Not bite to my tongue. I don't like the taste. I'm on and I'm on and I own my opponent. I'm always in the zone, need a zone, out of zone, and then we could get it poppin'. Pick the topic if you want to skip it, Shannon, skip it, hoppin'. Took these sports and made them pop it. All right, undisputed.
Happy Monday morning, everybody. Thanks for being with us. Welcome into Undisputed. I'm Jen Hale here with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. Guys, how was your weekend?
Oh, great, boy. That Drew lead. All I hear is Drew.
So LeBron shows up. I'm thinking,
shows out.
This is great. And he showed so out. He missed 11 of 13 threes that he took and missed a late clutch free throw. Same old Bron.
Have you ever seen the Drew League televised? This time the revolution was televised.
Really?
Yeah.
I think that was already planned before.
No, it wasn't. Stop it.
It's on some streaming service you can't find.
Yeah,
okay.
I found it. You found it too.
Yeah, well.
How did you know he missed all those shots then if you didn't find it?
We will jump into all of that. All right, guys. Russell Westbrook and his longtime agent have split due to, quote, irreconcilable differences. Boucher suggested there was no longer full alignment with Westbrook about whether the former MVP should want to stay with the Lakers. His belief is Russ's best option next season is to stay with the Lakers and go ahead and just embrace that role brand new coach Darvin Ham has in mind for him. No consistency here, no meeting of the minds. Shannon, what do you think? How will this impact your guy LeBron and his Lakers?
Well, Skip, it doesn't appear that Russ wants to be with the Lakers any more than the Lakers want Russ to be with the Lakers. And Russ says, look, they don't want me. I don't want to be here. I need to move on. The agent is saying, Russ, you do $47 million. Just embrace the role, whatever role that may be, third option, playing defense, whatever the role is, because there are no good alternatives outside of the Lakers. It seems to me from what I can gather, Skip, even teams that are willing to trade for Russ because they want that first-round pick or maybe the 2 first-round picks, 2027, 2029 that the Lakers have, they're willing to take Russ and those 2 first-round picks. But guess what comes with that, Skip? A buyout. Can you imagine what that would do to Skip? That is a top 75 player. That is a former NBA MVP. And team says, nah, we don't want you. We wanted the first-round picks. So in order to extrapolate them from the Lakers, we took you on, but we want to buy you out. We want no parts of you in this organization past getting those first-round picks. And Russ doesn't want that. So the agent doesn't want that to happen because I believe the agent has the best interest. I like to think all agents have the best interest of players sitting, regardless of the sport, Skip, in mind. He's saying, Russ, bruh, do you realize you went from OKC to Houston? Houston gave up a ton of first-round picks to get you. You went from Houston to Washington. Washington gave up first-round picks to get you. You went from Washington to the Lakers, and they gave up first-round picks and players to get you. Do you realize that'll be 5 and 6 years, Russ, that you have been traded, and now you're running out of options? I don't believe there are teams that out there that are willing to trade for Russ and say, Skip, you know what? Yeah, Russ is a difference maker for us, and we need to get Russ, and here we go. So the agent says, you know what? We've had 14 years, or how many years they were together. You know what? We don't agree on this one. Let's just go ahead and part ways. You do what's in the best interest of Russ. It seems to me that all of a sudden now you're not willing to take my advice or listen to the advice that I want to give you. So I think the best thing for us to do, there are no hard feelings. It's just we just don't agree. The best thing for us to do is to part ways, and we move forward. It makes it a little tricky now, Skip, because teams that are willing to possibly trade for Russ and possibly buy him out, who are they going to call? Because, Skip, you know this comes now. Remember, when you don't have an agent, guess what the other team going to tell you, Skip? Bro, we tried to buy you out. But what about the young players? Well, I can help a team. Nah, we don't want that. So this is where they are. Russ doesn't want to be a Laker. The Lakers don't want Russ to be a Laker. The agent thought Russ' best interest was to stay. Russ says, I want to go. And here we are. So, you thought last year was fireworks and going to be an adventure. Woo, Woo, this is Waterworld times 15.
Waterworld?
Yeah, the water park, a theme.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, not the movie. Hell nah. Hell
I
nah.
actually like that movie, and a lot of people
You might be the only one that liked that movie.
Well, I thought it was pretty good, and I watched part of it the other day and still liked it.
You see, you had no sports on
I thought you were taking
television.
a shot at Waterworld. Okay, it is now my turn, and I'm going to unleash on all the above. I am shocked on so many levels by this development. Here's the first level. I was shocked that Russ, in fact, according to Thad Foucher, the agent, wants out. I had no idea he wanted out because his body language, everything that he had been doing of late, suggested he was back happy and content in L.A. because he had a new sheriff in town in control in Darvin Ham, who had gone completely out of his way to re-ingratiate with Russ, to take him to dinner.
Spoken glowing terms about it.
Glowing terms. And I might have missed somebody else at Darvin Ham's introductory press session here in Los Angeles, but the only player I saw at least prominently displayed was Russell Westbrook.
I agree.
So it seemed like Russ, who was there with his chest out, said, I'm back. I got this. It's my team again. And obviously he grew up a Laker fan, just a born and raised diehard to the core Laker fan. And his dream came true last year and it turned into a nightmare. But now it's Frankie V's fault. But I got Darvin Ham. And look at me. And I'm going to go to Summer League and I'm going to show up, even though the King is holding court down there on the baseline.
On one side.
I'm going to go sit right by the bench. And during at least one timeout huddle, I'm going to participate in the huddle, and I'm going to tell Scottie Pippen Jr., you got to do this, got to do that, you got to look for this, got to look for that. And it looked like that he was more part of the team than at that point LeBron was. That it looked like LeBron was distancing himself from the team, the hierarchy, and obviously anything close to the bench area, because it took the whole hierarchy going down to the baseline to at least exchange pleasantries with, starting with Pelinka and obviously Rambis and everybody from the organization had to go down there to see him. But Russ is front and center, looking like he's back in business as a key part of the basketball team. So this was a shock to me because everything had indicated he's right back where he wanted to be 1 year ago. And he's scheduled to make $47 million. And the best place to earn that $47 million is right here in L.A. with the team he grew up loving. So to me, this is a shocker. And I'm going to make a point here, a strong point. We have now only heard from Thad Foucher about this. We have not heard from Russ. Russ isn't one to make statements, but maybe he'll drop a little bombshell here in the near future. I don't know. I'd like to hear his side of this story.
Okay.
So now we have Thad Foucher going to Woj with a statement, a lengthy statement that came across as nothing but damage control to me because he has been a prominent agent for a long time. They've been together since Russ was drafted as a diamond in the rough, as the 4th overall pick out of UCLA.
Correct. 14
long years together. And all of a sudden, Thad Foucher is saying, in effect, in his big statement to Woj, don't blame me for this. It feels like he got fired by Russ, but I don't know that. It could just